Well, as you can see, the Hawker Siddeley 748 has just dropped us in from Winnipeg into Nueltin Lodge in Canada's Manitoba, the province with 100,000 lakes. And if we don't catch fish here, we're not going to catch them anywhere. The most exciting thing about Nueltin, with its tremendous steps down to 200 feet, is that in addition to catching big grayling and Northern Pike, you also stand a chance of catching monster lake trout of 30 to 40 pounds and upwards. We're here right now in the middle of July because the fishing season up here in the north is a short one. Until the beginning of June, these lakes have been frozen over all winter. There is now just a 3-month period before they start to freeze over again, and the whole cycle repeats itself. This is the area we're going to be fishing, the vastness of Nueltin Lake and its surrounding waters, which in area cover a staggering 14,000 square miles. The size of which you might just squeeze into Wales if you were lucky. In fact, many of the lakes here in Manitoba are unfished and completely unnamed. Now let's have a look at some of the tackle we're going to be using. Now, many of the pike in Nueltin prefer the shallow, weedy bays, so I'm going to have some fun with them by using my short American bait casting rod, baby multiplier and 15-pound test line, which I'll need for the heavy weed beds. And now for the lake trout. During the summer months, the big fish follow the thermocline, that band of cold water 40 to over 100 feet deep, well below the surface warmer layers. And I'm going to fish for them with large spoons and a long rod trolled behind the boat with the aid of a downrigger. And for this technique, I've got a choice of 2 lines. On this reel, monofilament, and on this one, a low-stretch dacron, if a problem arises from trying to set a barbless hook at great depths on the monofilament. Actually, when I was fishing here at Nueltin last year, the biggest problem with barbless hook fishing was that the hook dropped out when using monofilament at great depths, so perhaps by using the dacron we'll do better. We'll see. There's a tremendous range of lures on sale here at the lodge. If I was going grayling fishing, for instance, I'd use one of these little tiny spinners. But for the pike fishing that I aim to be doing on the surface, how about one of those? They really get them going. I suppose the ultimate lure for weed fishing is this, because it's got a weed guard on there, so it doesn't matter how fast you pull it through the water, whether it's on the surface or beneath, it doesn't get caught up. And for the big lake trout, we've got these huge, great big vibratory lures like this. And they all come with a large single barbless hook for the catch and release program. Ooh. Thanks, Sean. Well, I've been looking forward to this for a whole year, Nap. Where are we going to go for these here pike today?
Trout River.
Trout River, is that a good place?
Oh, pretty good, yeah.
How long is it going to take to get there?
About 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes? Okay, let's get going. Well, we sure got a good day for it, huh?
Pretty good.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The water's so clear here, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. Well, here we are. We're here on the Patahau River. This is a lovely place here, Nap, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And we got a lot of cabbage weed on the bottom here in about 6 to 10 foot of water. We're both working weedless lures through it because we expect the pike to be lying right in the thick of it. It's a nice wind blowing at the moment, so we can drift this entire bay right the way down to the far shoreline and then motor up and have another go at it. Do you get any trout in here as well, Nap, or is it just northerns?
Just northerns.
Just northerns. I love using this little short American, oh no, weed, bait casting rod and a multiplier. It adds a totally new dimension to pike fishing, it really does. Single-handed, you only need a 4 and 5 pounder to give you a bit of sport. Well, I've seen nothing coming up near the surface. I'm going to go much deeper, let it come down a bit and just give it a bit of a slow wobble through the weed. We've got these fine sprung wire guards which stop the hook from fouling, so you can more or less pull these spoons straight through thick weed with just the odd bit catching on. Let's give it a double hander. Whew. The only snag, of course, with a short rod is if you hit a fish at the end of your cast there, 50, 60 yards away, you've got to really hold your hands up high and try and keep the line tight. Right, I'm going to have one more cast snap and then we'll move up to that shallow bay, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Hello, you in?
One, yeah.
I was beginning to get a bit worried there. There's only 2 follows. What size is it? That was a small one.
Yeah. It's barely caught. Look at the way it's caught there. They're not hitting pretty good today.
Yeah. Hang on, let's get him out. Whoa. Oh! We're not worried about him. That was on that small copper one, yeah?
Yeah, I got another one there.
Yeah. I think I'm going to change to a smaller lure now. That's not the same one, is it? Hey, they certainly go, don't they?
Okay, John.
Woo. They're beautifully marked fish, though, aren't they? This clear water, you get some beautiful markings on them, don't you? Huh? Really beautiful markings on them. Whoa there. Whoa. Oh, there we are now. It's a pretty fisher. What's that, about 4 or 5 pounds?
What for?
Well, look at that, the way these, I don't know how you landed that, the way these barbless hooks slip out. That's pretty, beautifully marked fish. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Oh, yes, here we are. Whoa, wow. Oh, it's going under the boat. Whoa, wee. Here we go. It's not very big, but it's a lot of fun. There it is. Right, let's bring him in. There he is. There's the weedless barbless hook. Pretty little fish. Let's pull him back straight away. Whoa, there you go. There's not a lot of weed here now on that, huh? No. You know, a lot of
about
this,
14 feet here.
a lot of this terrain we could probably get away with without weedless lures, couldn't we? You in?
Yeah.
Well done. Off.
He's on.
He's he's off. He's on. Oh, I had a take then as well. Well, we'll keep that one for sure lunch, shall we?
Yeah.
There we are, our lunch. Normally, if I was back at home now, I wouldn't kill a couple of fish like this to eat because I don't need them. But out here, what you catch ends up as shore lunch. And Nap's got a terrific way of filleting these so that there's no bones on them whatsoever. We just get all the pots and pans out. They're looking nice and brown, Nap. Beautiful. These fillets are first of all rolled in seasoned flour and then slung straight in the pan into hot lard. But it's got to be really hot first of all. And on the side we've got chipped potatoes, onions, beans and spaghetti. I'm really looking forward to this. Well, Nap, this here fried pike shore lunch is absolutely fantastic. I think what we do after this, we're going to try for some of them big lakers, eh?
Yes. Sure.
And we got a rather unusual way of getting there too. And this is it. We're very lucky here at Nueltin, having the services of this 1943 Norseman float plane. And while Nap's taking the boat much further up the lake, we're going to catch him up with this right now. See you there. Well, here we are, we're out on Nueltin. It's a bright sunny day and we're going to be deep water trolling in depths of somewhere between 40 to 80 feet. These are some of the lures I'm going to use. It's a mixture of big plugs and spoons and a flashing dodger here. And all of them have got very large single hooks, well honed. All the barbs have been completely flattened. And the last thing we do to make them more effective is snake the hook slightly, just like that. And this is the baby I'm going to start off with, a big silver and orange spoon. And I'm going to flip it out behind the boat, let it go back. How far do you want it, Nap? About 40 feet?
Yeah, about 40 feet back.
Okay. That do you?
That's about it there.
Okay. And now Nap's going to clip the line into the line clip on the outrigger. It doesn't actually go onto the heavy lead ball, it goes onto a clip on a swivel connected to the ball. And then this goes over the side.
You got to release that line now?
Okay, we're ready. And that lets the wheel of the downrigger go down, so the lead ball's going down through the water. What sort of depth are we going to be trolling at now?
Well, we're trolling about 40, 50 feet here.
About 40, 50.
All right, we'll stop right here.
Okay.
Bring your line a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to wind the rod down now until it's nicely bent. Not so much that I pull it out of the downrigger clip. I'm using a longer rod than what they normally use for this sort of thing. I'm giving it a go because what I want to try and do, English style, or British style rather, is when I get a take, stand up and really whack the rod up to straighten all that line that's in a right angle between the lure, the downrigger clip, and coming up to the downrigger itself. And that's what you got to do. And when we get a take, Nap's going to accelerate the engine anyway to help take up the slap. Now, completely contrary to what most fishing is, when we get a bite here, the rod doesn't go over, it suddenly springs back because the fish has pulled the line out of the downrigger clip. So the first thing we'll see is the rod springing upwards, and then I've got to wind down like mad as Nap accelerates, and then I strike and hopefully set the hook. It's a very unusual and very interesting way of fishing. Here we go. Anything coming up on the screen, Nap? We're in. That's a good fish, Nap. That really wanged that out the outrigger then, didn't it? You know, with this Dacron line, you've got a very, very close contact with them. You really do. No, I don't think it's as big as we first thought. The rod was going well. Oh, it's nice. That feels lovely. Stand up. I love watching them come up through the water, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course, the thing about these big lake trout is, unlike perch, which get the bends when you start bringing them up from deep water, the lake trout have got a pneumatic duct from their gut to their alimentary canal, so they don't have this problem of the gases expanding. They can release it, they can belch it out of both ends, in fact. And when they start to get near the surface, they can really put on some pressure, so I'm going to have to be careful with this. Not go too balmy. Oh yes, it's a nice fish. Oh, it's a good one. Oh yes. Oh, look at that one. Okay, now, first time, well done. Woo! That can't be bad, can it? It's not as big as we first thought though, is it? You got the hook there? Well done. That's a nice one. What do you reckon he goes?
About a 10, 12 pounder.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, that's a good start. That is a good start. Mind, he hasn't got any option. He's in 80 foot to start off with, isn't he? That's a good one. Go slowly with this. Ooh, come on, baby. Oh, that's really shaking its head there. It's coming up to the top quickly. It's coming up a lot quicker than I'm winding him, really. It's coming round this side. Well, perhaps he's not as big as I first thought. I got a couple of real thumping clonks then, and I thought that was really big. He's fighting well though. Some terrific fights off these, don't you? They really pull your arm, don't they? Wonderful. He's keeping him quite away from the boat here. No, he's not a monster, but it's a nice one. Oh, it's a good fish. Look at that, beautiful. Whoa, that's it. Well done, first time that.
Nice trout.
Yeah, let's have a look at him, shall we? A nice close-up. Whoa. There, the hook can stay there. Oh. Ooh. There we are. How about that? From 80 foot down in the depths of Lake Nueltin. Nice big, mint condition laker, about 15 pounds. And that's what deep water trolling's all about. But we're going to put him back straight away. Oh, away you go, my son. Look at that, straight down. This water's so clear here, you can see down for 10, 20, 30 foot or more until it goes into a blue-black void. It must be some of the purest, sweetest water in the world. Oh, well, here we go. Yes, we're in. Oh! Oh!
Still got the fish.
Well, we've snapped the rod, but we've still got the fish.
You got the fish, big one too.
Okay, Nap. No, we haven't. We've lost it. No, we've lost it. No, we haven't. It's still there. Whoa. Well, this is a bit of a... But I'll tell you what, we're going to land it. Okay. This is a bit of a... Oh, no, we're not. We've lost it. Hey, that was a good one, huh?
Must be.
Let's break out another rod. Oh, you're gonna laugh, aren't you? Oh. Oh, well, that's enough of that, Nap. Well, that's one of the problems, of course, of fishing in boats and aeroplanes and taking your rods done up with elastic bands. They get a bit clonked and squeezed here again, and the only time you realise that they're going to go is when you get a big fish on, and that's not a very good time for it to happen. To take the swivel off here, I'm rigging up with the same Dacron line and reel and a spare rod. I usually carry 2 or 3 spare rods. I'm pretty good at breaking carbon rods, in fact. Usually get through 3 or 4 a year due to my ham-fistedness. Right, let's put a swivel on this snap and we're in business again. Well, to give them a little bit more incentive to grab hold of this big plug, I've put a little bit of fish skin on the end of the barbless hook there. See what that does. Water's flattening off now. Nap, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes! We're there. I don't think he's a big one, that, but he's keeping quite deep. That old deep diving plug works well, doesn't it? Hey? That's amazing, that. Absolutely amazing. I've caught fish all over the world on that plug, that lovely mackerel blue colour. Works in the West Indies, works off the African coast. And here, you reckon it's a big one?
Fish, yeah.
It's keeping deep now, isn't it? Yes, can't hurry this one. You should see he's just hanging there, look at that. That's going well. Very careful on this one. Ooh, there. They can so easily shake that barbless hook out, can't they? You got the net? Ooh, that's going well too. Come on, baby. Because when you've got a big fish near the surface on dacron, you've got to be a little bit careful. I've only got a 5 foot, 15 pound mono leader there, so if this suddenly decides to get a little bit lively near the surface, I could easily snap it. Yes, a biggie, here we come. Oh, yes. It's a nice fish. Oh, that's the boy. He's not a 40, but that's good. Hang on that. I'll bring him to you. Woo! Yeah! At last.
Nice trout.
That's a 20, that's a biggie. Woo! That is the one.
He's out. That lure is out.
Let's just take
the lure is out.
Let's just take the hook right out and we can lift him out for measuring. Ooh! Right, sling that down there. Great, that's a nice fish. What do you reckon that goes?
Oh, about close to 20 pounds.
Yeah. That's a nice one, isn't he? Hey. There we are.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. How about that then? We really want this one's mother, but the problems we've had today getting one of these, I think this will do, don't you? Well, we've had some fabulous fishing here this week in Canada's lakelands with the pike and those jumbo lake trout, even if I did happen to snap a rod on one of them. And of course the weather's been very kind to us too. The only requirements in getting here after you've flown from the UK to Winnipeg and then on to Nueltin direct by prop jet are a $30 fishing licence and a 10-year passport. There's no visa or other documentation required whatsoever, and an update on local fishing rules and regulations can always be obtained from the Canadian Tourist Board. What have you got to lose?
Next week, John Wilson goes fishing in Spain. That's at the same time, 9:30.